Adopted fatty, no parents.
Portal is one of my favourite games of all time. Coming out in 2007, the same year I was born, why must time pass? It has been loved by many generations. Portal is 20 years old next year. Ever since I discovered Portal, I've always loved it. Not just for the great mechanics and sometimes surprisingly hard puzzles, but for the amazing story and atmosphere. The first time I ever beat Portal was in one of my classes. I was sat with some friends and decided to play a chamber or two since I was bored. My save file at that point was about a month old as I took my time with the game. Little did I know I was one chamber away from the ending with GLaDOS. I think it took me about 2 tries to beat. This situation actually led to me meeting a very close friend of mine for the first time. They never knew my name, so they called me Portal Girl until a few months later we actually became friends, bonding over playing Mario Kart DS in the corner of the classroom. This story sounds like it happened between 2 11-year-olds in, like, 2010, but it was 2 17-year-olds in the roaring 2K20s. I've beaten Portal about 3 times, and I own it 2 many ways. I own Portal 1 and 2 on Steam, the Orange Box and Portal 2 on the Xbox 360, Portal 2 on the PS3, and the Portal Collection for the Switch. I have a slight obsession, to the point of having the Aperture Science logo permanently grafted onto my skin. They own me. The characters. The characters! GLaDOS is genuinely one of my favorite fictional characters of all time. Not only is she just cool from a design standpoint, but the way Ellen McLain portrays her and gives her this personality that I don't think anyone else could, it's just amazing. Like confession, I'm not a big fan of her design in Portal 1. I think they massively improved it in Portal 2, and I think I and everyone else would agree that her Portal 2 design is true GLaDOS. Chell is one of my favorite mute characters in gaming. By definition, she isn't technically mute, but she is a silent protagonist, such as characters like Gordon Freeman, Link, Red from Pokemon, or even Skylanders Imagineers did not happen. It can't hurt me. I've always liked the interpretation of Chell as mute. She's a very blank character with minimal actual concrete information about her character in the games. All we really know is that she's
adopted fatty, no parents.
It leaves a lot open to interpretation with her character, leading to really fun fan theories, some more rooted in canon than others, and allows the player to take away what they want from Chell as a character. It's fitting that her name is Chell. She is the shell we inhabit in the game. Now, Wheatley. I have mixed feelings on that kickable volleyball-ass robot. I love Stephen Merchant's portrayal of Wheatley. He does a great job of portraying this moron of a robot.
I am not a moron!
But I've never really gotten that attached to Wheatley as a character. Definitely not as much as GLaDOS or Chell. This is where I confess something. I am downright obsessed with Portal, but I've never beaten Portal 2. I know, I should throw myself into the same fire the Companion Cube was thrown into. I honestly have no reason why. I know all the story, everything with Kay Johnson, Aperture, and Caroline is my favorite story in any game, honestly. But I learned about the story when I watched Portal videos on YouTube. My Portal and Valve in general hyperfixation began a few years back, and I was constantly watching videos on Half-Life, Portal, TF2, Interloper and Joyous Rise Up! To the point that I practically overdosed on Portal knowledge, so I never played Portal 2 because I knew everything. I'm the kind of person who can't rewatch a movie because I know what's going to happen, so I basically spoiled myself on the experience of getting to play Portal 2 with a fresh mind. But also, Portal 2 did come out when I was 3 years old, so it's pretty hard to avoid spoilers for a game that is 15 years old. I know this is blasphemy against the great word of GLaDOS herself, but I will play it. I will. I won't let myself die until I play it. Well, I don't plan on dying anytime soon. You get the point. One of my favorite parts of the Portal games are the end credit songs. Still Alive, Want You Gone, and You Wouldn't Know. Yes, I'm including the Lego Dimension song that name drops Batman. Written by the amazing Jonathan Coulton and performed by GLaDOS's wonderful voice actress, Ellen McLain. So far on this channel, I've mainly done covers of songs I really like, and one of those is Still Alive from Portal 1. It's such a good song, even if you don't know Portal. I didn't do justice to Ellen McLain's amazing voice, but I think I did a decent job. I actually almost cried to You Wouldn't Know once because I was listening to it on a bus as it drove through my old hometown, and one of the lyrics fit so well about my feelings of being back there that I almost burst out crying. Why did it have to be the Lego one? Music from Portal is just amazing, even if it's just the electronic ambient tracks that litter the backgrounds of the test chambers, or if it's the end credit songs that allow GLaDOS to be a bit pathetic. She's allowed to be sometimes. As a treat. Portal is my favorite game series of all time. It's this perfect duology that connects into Half-Life, and it's so good! Genuinely, if you've never played Portal or Portal 2, you should. I know, ironic for me to suggest Portal 2 and I haven't actually finished it, ha 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 ha. Portal 1 is a great puzzle game with amazing atmosphere and subtle storytelling that leaves you thinking. Portal 2 expands on this by bringing in way more lore while keeping the core puzzle-solving elements intact, while also introducing interesting new gameplay mechanics that relate to the story of Aperture Science. What I'm saying is, you should play the game. I've been Teal, I hope you liked this video. If you did, please like, comment, and all that stupid stuff YouTube has asked you to do. Remember, the cake is a lie. Hi, thanks for staying until the very end of the video. This is my first video in this kind of style. I've mostly been doing covers of my favorite songs at the moment, but I wanted to try something different and I thought Portal would make a lot of sense for it. I would really appreciate some input in the comments about this kind of style of video, how I could improve, what you liked, what you didn't like. That'd be great. So I hope I'll see you in the next video, whatever that may be. And yeah, bye.